Hey, it's Go, and today, we're gonna find out the real reason you're stuck. Are you or are you just scared? Now, I know what you're thinking. They sound pretty similar, right? Delaying a project, putting off that phone call, avoiding the gym. It all looks the same from the outside, but here is the secret. Understanding the true difference between these two feelings could completely change your entire life. It's the key that unlocks your potential and gets you moving again. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a quick, simple test to figure out which one it is for you, procrastination or fear. And more importantly, I'll tell you exactly what to do next, once you have the answer. Ready? Let's dive in. Procrastination, in its simplest form, is when you consciously choose to put things off. You delay, you distract yourself with other, less important things. You actively avoid the task at hand. Maybe the task is just plain boring, or it feels tedious. You know, you should do it, but you just don't feel like it. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, and you genuinely believe it. The primary emotion here is often a mix of boredom, apathy, or feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of work. But here's the twist. Sometimes, what we label as procrastination is actually fear wearing a very convincing disguise. It's not that you're lazy or unmotivated, it's that deep down, something is holding you back. This isn't about boredom, it's about anxiety. What kind of fear are we talking about? It could be the fear of failing. What if you pour your heart and soul into this project, and it just doesn't work out? What if it's a total flop? That sting of disappointment can feel so threatening that it's easier not to try at all. Or maybe it's the fear of judgment. What will other people think? Your friends, your family, your colleagues, even strangers on the internet. The thought of being criticized, laughed at, or misunderstood can be paralyzing. It's the voice in your head that whispers, they're all going to think you're an idiot, so you do nothing. Because doing nothing feels safer than facing potential ridicule. And then there's the big one, the fear of change. Even if the change is for the better, it's still a step into the unknown. Success brings its own set of challenges and new responsibilities. What if you get that promotion and you can't handle the pressure? What if your business takes off and you're overwhelmed? The comfort of your current situation, even if it's not ideal, can feel much safer than the uncertainty of success. So, how do you tell the difference? How do you know if you're just being lazy and need a kick in the pants, or if you're actually scared and need a different approach entirely? Let's find out with a quick test. I want you to get really honest with yourself for a moment. Think about that one big task or goal you've been avoiding. Got it in your mind? Okay, here are 3 simple questions. First, when you think about that task, how do you feel physically and emotionally? Is the dominant feeling boredom? Or maybe a sense of being overwhelmed by the logistics? Or is it a knot in your stomach, a tightness in your chest, a feeling of dread? If the task just feels dull, it might be procrastination. If it feels threatening, that's a big sign. It's fear. Second question, do you feel energized and excited by the idea of succeeding? Or are you more paralyzed by all the things that might go wrong along the way? Procrastinators often fantasize about the end result, but hate the process. People driven by fear, however, I ain't even enjoy the fantasy of success because their minds are immediately flooded with what-if scenarios of failure and disaster. The potential for things to go wrong overshadows any potential for them to go right. And now for the final, most important question. If you could wave a magic wand and instantly get rid of all fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, would you start on that task right now? This very second? If your answer to that last question was a resounding yes, then congratulations. You're not lazy. You're scared. And that is actually fantastic news. Why is it good news? Because fear is a natural, universal human emotion. Everyone feels it. The most successful, courageous, and accomplished people you can think of. They all feel fear. The difference is, they've learned how to deal with it. Fear isn't a stop sign. It's a signal. It's telling you that what you're about to do is important. It means you're pushing your boundaries and stepping outside your comfort zone. Fear can be one of 2 things. A prison that keeps you small and stuck, or a powerful motivator that fuels your growth. The choice of which one it becomes is entirely up to you. So, How do you fight it? You don't. You learn to dance with it. You acknowledge it, and then you take action anyway. Here's a simple, practical framework to get you started. First, break the task down into ridiculously tiny, manageable pieces. If your goal is write a book, that's terrifying. But what if your goal was write one sentence, or open the document, or brainstorm 3 title ideas? When a step is so small it feels almost silly, it becomes much less intimidating. You bypass the fear response because the action is too small to be perceived as a threat. Next, use the 5-minute rule. Set a timer for just 5 minutes and commit to working on that tiny step for that short period. Anyone can do anything for 5 minutes. The magic here is that starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum often takes over. More often than not, you'll find yourself working well past the 5-minute mark. And finally, reward yourself. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, celebrate it. Did you open the document? Great. Give yourself a pat on the back. Did you write for 5 minutes? Awesome. Go make a cup of your favorite tea. By rewarding the action, you are rewiring your brain to associate the task with positive feelings, counteracting the fear. You're teaching yourself that taking action, even when scared, leads to good things. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and taking action despite it. It's doing the thing you're scared of because you know it's important. So, let me ask you again. Are you procrastinating, or are you just scared? Now that you know the difference, and now that you have a plan, what will you do? The truth is, waiting for the fear to disappear is a trap. It won't. It might lessen. It might change shape, but it will always be a passenger on your journey of growth. Don't wait. Move anyway. Take that tiny first step right now. Because the only way to build confidence, the only way to overcome the fear, and the only way to win is to start. This is Go, reminding you to stop waiting and start running. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you get unstuck and achieve your goals. I'll see you in the next video.